Hey y'all, what's good? I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I've been doing recently on my channel, right? So we don't got any crazy drama or nothing crazy to show you today. We're just going to chat. We're just going to have a little quick chit chat. And my original channel that got deleted by Blair White, I mean, I've talked about it a million fucking times. If you don't know, there's a playlist. You can see everything about it. She got my original channel deleted because of some drama that we had got into. But that original channel had a very quick growth, right? And I had a lot of interaction. The original channel was like a more traditional, like, trans person kind of like channel, where I just sat here and I talked about my transition. I gave updates, gave advice, like little things I learned, things like that, you know, like shit that was very personal. I'd also do like little story times and other things like that about me, and people really resonated with it, really hit home, right? And so I kind of want to bring that back. I want to just give a little bit updates and talk a little bit and give some advice and help trans people out. You know, a lot of what I was doing was to help the trans youth, because when I was a kid, right, it was a lot of trans content creators that made content that helped me, right? And for a long time I was in the closet. I wasn't able to like engage with any of this or be myself, so watching the content helped. So maybe I could be doing the same thing for someone else right here. So the topic of today's video is going to be the myth of passing, and I think this is very important to talk about with trans people, especially because it can be a big pressure, right? It could be a lot of pressure to pass, and it could be a great need, right? People can very much so feel the need to pass to alleviate that dysphoria, to feel comfortable, to feel accepted in society. And I see a lot of pain and trauma that's involved with this idea of passing. And the longer I've been a trans person, the longer that I've been involved in this community, and I've been able to see from firsthand, I've been able to gain a new perspective on this. And here's something that I don't hear a lot of people talking about when it comes to passing, is that passing is fluid, right? Passing is not something that's set in stone. It's not something definitive. It's something that has a lot of fluidity. It changes. You do not pass or not pass. You're either passing or not passing at any given moment. And what makes it even more complex is that it changes person to person, right? So one person might read you as female or read you as male, and another person might read you as the exact opposite gender, right? So you could be passing to one person but not passing to another person, and then with the same person you could be passing one day and not passing another day. So it becomes very problematic, you could see, when you base everything, like if you base your worth, your acceptance, your happiness as a trans person off of passing. That is very fickle. That can change by the day, change by the instance, change by the fucking lighting in the room, by the way you do your hair, by the clothing you're wearing, makeup, whatever the fuck it is. That can very much so change. So I would urge people to not have that be such a focus, and I understand why it's so essential to us to fit into society, to feel comfortable, to feel validated as ourselves. And trans people have a hard lot in life. If you're a trans person, you're trying to figure out this, I want to understand that you have it very hard. And you're going to have to come to terms with a lot of very harsh truths, and you're going to have to accept things that can't change and work within your power to change what you can, right? So here's what you need. You need to have the right mindset. You need to understand that going into it like, I want to pass to everybody, is not realistic. There's no trans person that passes to everybody all the time, always, right? But you can have like little goals for yourself, or little like objectives, right? Like you can say you want to pass most of the time, or be the most possible passing that you can. But understand there's limitations to everybody. Some people, like for example, have a very large frame. Some people, you know, are fucking 6'6" and like, you know, incredibly long and lanky. And that is going to create a scenario when it might be almost impossible for a person like that to pass. So at the end of the day, what do? And don't give up, right? Like, that's just it. Like, don't fucking die. Keep fighting, keep trying. So you got to figure out what makes you happy. At the end of the day, what makes you feel good? Like, maybe it's nails, maybe it's hair. Like, I'm talking from like a trans femme perspective, right? So like, make sure you're doing your nails, and make sure you're doing your hair, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Like, for me, it's nails and skin, right? So like, taking good care of like good skincare routines and things like that. And it could be hard to do because I don't have a lot of money, right? And then I have other problems with me personally, to get a little bit personal right here. I'm not on hormones. I haven't been on my hormones for over a year, and that's because I wasn't able to get blood tests where I live currently. My insurance wasn't covered. They wanted me to go to a different state. I wasn't able to do that, so I lost access. And at the time, I was very unhealthy. I had a binge eating problem, and it was probably not good to be taking estrogen and also being super unhealthy. So I'm trying to get healthy again, and I'd like to get back on it in the future. But it created this dilemma where it's like, well, you know, if I'm struggling to pass already and now I'm losing estrogen, and it's like, I'm like I'll pass one day and I won't pass the other day during that time when I was on hormones and everything, it just became a thing where it was hurting me. The desire to, the need to, if I wasn't living up to that with the expectation, it was hurting me. And that became worse than trying so hard to pass. So I pulled back and just said, fuck this shit. Let me just focus on myself. Let me not think of how people are seeing me. Let me just like do what makes me happy and try to do the best to take care of myself, right? And yeah, I'm not in a position where I could do a lot right now, but in the future I'll be able to do more. But what it comes down to is it comes to mindset and finding about what you truly care about, because you have to accept those harsh truths. You have to accept that it's a myth at the end of the day, that you could do your best to pass, but you will never achieve like passing. You will never be a passing trans person. You could pass like 99% of the time, but like even the most passable trans people, they've been clocked, you know? And like, everyone has a different eye, especially trans people can clock other trans people a lot better because they're very dysphoric, so they know those little different structures, like the bone structure, facial structure, all those types of things. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to come on here real quick and just talk and just fucking let y'all know that, like, man, preserve your happiness, guard your hearts, and like, do the best you can. Never give up, keep trying. But remember, this shit's a fucking myth at the end of the day. Like, it's not achievable for everybody, and even the people that can achieve it, it's not achievable all the time. So just focus on yourself, grow, self-actualization. Find out what makes you happy in this life and go after it. Anyways, peace out, bitches. Have a good one.
Ring, ring, I hear a passion fucking calling. Every single second, know that I be balling. Gotta make it so I'm focused, no, I'm not falling. Every single time, no, I'm answering that calling. Gotta make it, so I'm working harder. Yeah, I played it smarter. Wanna be a star, man, gotta work your hardest. So I played it smarter. You be fucking dumb, got you on a run, no, I gotta make it, so I be focused. I can't lose sight of what this really means. Gotta make it count how I wanna blow up, make a large amount. How like I'm 2 Chainz, maybe I could be just like I'm Dre. Hey, why the fuck you fake? Make me wanna pop out with a Draco, but fuck the fucking hate. So I be down bad on my only, smoking by my lonely, smoking thinking like I'm Durkee, yo. I'ma pop a perk, feeling like I'm perky, yo. Been down bad on my only, so I gotta stay on my 10 toes, just like I'm Nahab. Oh my bad. Swear I'ma be a legend when it's all said and done, hun. I'ma be the one, hun. I don't understand all the traumas of this life, so I'ma just run to the bag. Gotta make it count, how gotta make it last. I can't end up in the past. Yeah, know that I'm a blast. If I get that pass, I'ma run it up. I don't give a damn. Yeah, this is just my life. It's just how it is. You don't understand, and you can't get up in my brain. No, I'm never saying, hey, traumatized from my fucking